blind pick to this Syndra, a champ you had mentioned earlier on, despite not being incredibly popular for these two teams, probably still a decent pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see where they're trying to target their bans right now, right? The Nautilus is a very common pairing with Misfortune. They had 2 opportunities to ban it away. They don't care about that. They just care that Jizuke doesn't get going. And if we think about the actual way that EG would be able to win this game is if they can somehow unlock Jizuke. So banning out as many powerful mid laners as they can, and it completely sets up the Syndra pick. It's completely telegraphed, but it's also, you have to wonder if EG can do anything about it. And
yeah, oh, I like this. The Nocturne is in there as well. And I mean, you know, end of the day, right? It's you've got to blind pick something. Syndra is one of the safer picks that get rid of his 2 most common assassins in the Kiana and Echo and say, okay, show us a third. We know LeBlanc's already gone here as well. And I am curious if Jizuke does have a volatile matchup. Does he have a spicy matchup? Because keep in mind, Blabber here is on the Nocturne, which means you're not going to have a ton of early pressure against it. And where is he going to go with this one? Okay. He goes for Yasuo. There is room for early playmaking here, but also scaling.
Yeah, and the Yasuo is going to be able to play a little bit more aggressive early if he has the Gragas pressure and also has that immense kill pressure at level 6. So that is one of the best picks you can do into Syndra. It's just extremely volatile because if you do start falling behind, if you're unable to start contesting the wave, it can go downhill very quickly. And from the looks of it, this is also Jizuke's first Yasuo play of the split, so definitely getting pushed down a fair bit on his champion pool from this split.
Either way, though, Yasuo Gragas, a well-known duo, can have a lot of pressure, and Nocturne typically not that strong super early. So we'll see if that sort of mid-lane pressure, we really do think mid-lane is going to be the primary focus here for an EG win condition, at least early through mid-game, and then splitting off on the side could look very good down the line. Yasuo Gragas, again, great combo. We don't expect a ton of early pressure from Blabber on the Nocturne. Gragas probably can punish some of that early game weakness, so I really want to see what that turns into. I would love to see Jizuke really pop off, but it is going to be a difficult effort. If Cloud9's on today, if they're playing at their level, it's going to be a tough fight for EG.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what the analyst desk predicted. Everyone is predicting a sweep. It is what we've seen. C9 is 20-1 when you combine their first round of playoffs with their regular season record. But if you think about the possible ways that EG could win, which is what kind of all I've thought about for the past week, because you're trying to figure out if there's going to be drama here, and it would be if they can make it to the 15-minute mark with even gold against Cloud9. Cloud9 has had the best first 15 minutes of basically any LCS team ever, which does make me a little curious for this Nocturne pick, because for the first 6 levels, he's not really able to apply a huge amount of pressure. He's mostly just looking to farm and counter jungle. So while we'll definitely have eyes in the mid lane, I'm definitely tracking what Blabber does early on Nocturne.
Well, the teams are loading onto the Rift, so let's take a look at the starting lineups. Hello and welcome to Summoner's Rift. It's game 1 of the winner bracket final. Cloud9 went 17-1 in the regular season, tied for the best LCS record of all time. Evil Geniuses snuck in at the number 2 seed off of a tiebreaker day. A reasonably convincing win in their first round bracket, and this is a match to determine who is the first team to make it to the LCS 2020 Spring Finals. Cloud9 in blue, EG in red, best of 5 to determine who's going to make it here. As we have a pretty standard opening, the line of scrimmage as we call it, is Blabber sees Svenskeren, and no one's getting an invade on.
Yeah, and additionally, this is extremely interesting just because Svenskeren was on Cloud9 last year, actually won MVP, and then 3 members of that Cloud9 team moved over to EG to eventually climb to be the second best team. But here we go, Kumo and Svenskeren walk in, and no one really wants to fight because total knowledge doesn't exist, and neither team had the whole squad there.
At the end of the day, no one gets any little bit of chip damage down. Sometimes that can matter a little bit. The damage can stick and make your laning phase the slightest bit easier, but in this case, no harm, no foul. Late invade comes through for Vulcan, Blabber, and Sven as they want to see if they can stop Gragas starting at blue buff. Would like to get the blue for his first camp, and yeah, C9 got to pretty much dedicate to this. If they don't turn around really soon, like they can miss some XP, and ooh, this is very interesting. Gragas going to do a safe start at Wolves, but it means Blabber can go for the blue steal, and realistically, not sure EG can stop this one, keeping the attack going. You can see the Gragas not going anywhere nearby as well. No one's going to miss XP and gold, but blue will indeed be stolen here.
Yeah, no one really wanted the tango with a Tahm Kench early game or the lethal Tempo Varus, who likely would have been able to outtrade that if we ended up seeing the actual fight. I don't think it has a huge impact depending on what happens next, since whatever camp you clear first still gives you level 2, and the Gragas can also go for a fairly early recall either way. I've even seen Svenskeren, when he's playing other champions like Pantheon, actually start Wolves just by choice, but it does give early game knowledge to C9, and it limits the options that Svenskeren has in terms of early ganks, which I think is pretty crucial, knowing that the Nocturne does mostly want to wait until level 6.
And mentioning early ganks, we saw one cool thing from Licorice as well. He put a trinket ward down above the Krug camp, and with Svenskeren obviously not being able to take blue, and his Krug's being warded, he's going to be on vision pretty early on, and they'll be able to track, okay, he's got 16 or 12 CS coming in here. We know exactly which 3 camps he did. He's now topside. Okay, this information is known. Licorice now knows he needs to play around being ganked topside. For now, though, he knows he has time to shove this one in, and as soon as that Gragas walks to the left, he knows to play passively.
Yeah, and the real indicator of what's happening is more so what C9 lanes are doing, not necessarily that the Gragas is going to be put behind the Nocturne. Because in terms of farming pace, both junglers have taken 4 camps, but the fact that the bottom lane is able to push in, they can do this because they know Svenskeren would have path topside after starting blue, and it allows them more freedom to play aggressively.
You might see the first recall come through from the mid lane before too terribly long. Nisqy shoves in the next mid lane wave and walks down to the bottom side to help make sure that scuttle is safely controlled. Puts a trinket down as well, but the mana pool is getting a bit limited, and that can make the laning phase a bit tough. Jizuka has plenty of farm to catch, gonna go against the play, but keep in mind Blabber is nearby. Jizuka just jumps back to the minion wave and stays safe. Svenskeren nearby as well. Gonna spell shield that knock up and a stun to disengage.
Gotta watch out a little bit. There's a lot of burst on Gragas. So Svenskeren was daring a flash there, but Nisqy knew he had barrier the whole time. Very defensive summoner spell choice on the Syndra, so Svenskeren didn't fall for the bait, and both people just kind of back away.
Now Blabber and Sven gonna fight over this Scuttle Crab. Now with a level lead, Blabber almost always wins, and does indeed. 507 knows an auto plus smite is enough to kill it off, and Svenskeren never really had an actual chance of taking that one away. So well done to Blabber there, gets that, and yes, for now he is technically up 2 camps. Some of that is, of course, waiting for more farm, as both junglers have camps respawning, waiting to get some more gold picked up. The bot gets to be so incredibly aggressive. First turret plate taken, and it heads up 2-on-2 early on.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the early prioritization from draft on Varus Tahm Kench paying off a little bit from C9 here with how strong they've been able to duo lane, and then also just the decision-making from Blabber, and I'm continually impressed with the way C9 can play these Nocturne early games, because they haven't allowed Gragas to apply any early pressure. Blabber was there, the one spot Svenskeren would want to go to, and they were able to get double Scuttle Crabs because their bottom lane and top lane were pushed, and because they got some deep wards into Krug. So just really well done early on to get Blabber to level 5 so effortlessly. And now getting that recall with Challenging Smite, he'll probably hit 6 very soon, probably around 6 minutes or 6:20, depending on how much experience he was able to grab from the lane. And then they're going to be off to the races.
Yeah, in the meantime, pretty much every single lane looks amazing. Top continually has pushed. You're getting Licorice able to take essentially a greedy recall, a recall where he doesn't have to TP to get back to the lane. Gets a Cole there as well. If you're talking about greedy items, he's going to actually have extra money and lifesteal for an even funner mid game there. And we already saw bot lane was up in farm, still are, with more minions to kill, and they got that first plate. Also getting their own recall off with good timing as well, right? Extra mana and the Vamp Scepter. So kind of already across the board, Cloud9, without a single kill or major objective on the map, have a 300 to 400 gold lead. The recalls already come through for, the first early laning phase item spikes, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, they just have to watch out a little bit about this top lane moment for Licorice, because Svenskeren has his Predator up and is kind of snuck into the brush. Meanwhile, fight mid.
Ulti burn, Jizuki puts Nisqy at half HP, blocks the stun in the queue, but he might still get feared up, gets back towards the minions. Ultis come in, and there's just way too much damage. 6 minutes in, a level 6 Nocturne and a first blood in mid lane.
One gank works, one gank doesn't. The top lane burned Gragas ult and also Licorice's flash, but now, since Blabber won the fight, he can move into river.
And he's going to force EG to start flashing away. Zayas has to burn the flash. Flash used by Vulcan to get away from some of that as well, so it's an equal trade of Summoners down there, but it's still map control to Cloud9 with a pretty solid 1,500 gold.
Oh man, they just keep demolishing teams in the early game. Their average at 15 minutes is almost 3,000 gold, which is basically unheard of in pro play. Watching this fight one more time, this is one of the reasons the lane is so volatile. Jizuke hits 6 first, and he kind of needs to go in to get this wave shoved. Oftentimes, it does require the Gragas to be right there next to him. He's not. Blabber is. I think Blabber was actually kind of expecting the Gragas to be near him and at least have it be a bit of a close fight, but he wasn't, and they easily take that kill.
You mentioned defensive summoner spells from Niski with the barrier in there, also with a slightly more defensive Keystone and Phase Rush to maybe outrun the Yasuo once in a while. We often can see Electrocute, right, for the more burst damage, but that's really not his goal here. It's kiting the melee champion. Obviously makes sense for the matchup, but worth pointing out that that was a choice made in champ select based on matchup, and so far, paying dividends as far as we can tell. He's not really been hurting for damage.
Yeah, and Sven Skaren, I feel like, is going to feel pressed to make a play here. He does have ult. Jizuke has ult again. Wherever he moves next is likely where he's going to go for a play, and it's probably bot lane now that they've gotten Tahm Kench stuff out. But, I mean, look at the positioning of them. They're actually pretty safe.
Jizuke going to be in a fight 2-on-1. A lot of damage over there. The spell shield.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Blabber! You got to be kidding me. Gets a kill 1v2. Flash to the wall of safety. Svenskaren's still around, though. He might. No, he can't find the way in. Wait, no, he's on a ward. This could be a kill. He's going to try to run away, but body slam is just going to kill him. There's like one picked up. Sven gets his own down the bottom side. Zazel flashless from before, but Cloud9 still got a 2-for-1 lead.
You do not expect the Gragas Yasuo combo to be used in a 2v1 and lose. That's you just don't see that. But here you can see, because he has Warrior, because he has Challenging Smite, because he has Lethal Tempo on top of his Q, he just gets to slap the Yasuo to death before his burst ends up finishing him off. Spell Shield definitely blocked. I didn't see exactly what it blocked, but it would have been a fairly critical spell. And because that fight happened, it just gave C9 numbers advantage in the river. So sure, they trade 1-for-1 in the Nocturne versus Gragas Yasuo, but they trade up in the river and just get more pressure, and now almost a 2,000 gold lead by 9 minutes.
All right, well, he said the average is 3,000 another 6 minutes from now. Might grow actually beyond that one. Kumo is going to be sucked back in. However, with Svenskaren nearby, Licorice can't really go for this fight. It's a pretty alone 1 versus 1. There's not been a lot of jungle attention, and it's a pretty massive lead already to Licorice. Kumo just goes on Ornn duty. I think it's totally fine. I think it makes sense when you are against the best top laner in the league, and Kumo arguably the worst performing top laner in the league. You give him a tank, you say, hey, I'll see you in team fights, buddy. Good luck in the one-on-one. I think this matchup's kind of going par for the course based on player skill.
Yeah, I mean, I think that EG is making the correct choice to have Kumo on Ornn. He can play weak side, he can play utility, and he can still make contributions in team fights, and it's all about whether or not Svenskaren can get himself or Jizuke going. In most Cloud9 games, they have almost complete and total control of the Rift Herald, which they're moving towards now. And EG might look to contest this. Svenskaren has his jungle item up, and if they find the right angle, they could fight, but yeah, they don't want to have a disaster go. Here comes Svenskaren.
And Bang's rolling up as well, so that's going to be a little bit early. That's going to be Smite claimed easily. Pull back out into Vulcan. Will he be the target? Not just yet. Knocking over the top right now. Giant knockup means here comes Yasuo there as well. Ornn sounds the horn. Licorice gets one on the board. Jizuke's running out of health. 2-for-1 so far. Double kill for the Cloud9 top laner, but Vulcan will be traded back. It's 2-for-2. Blabber still in the wings. Looks for Bang. Will not get the Fury. He has to run away. Svenskaren pops a stopwatch. Easy knockup. Licorice with the triple. And Niski looks like he wants to chase. If he has it stun up soon, won't quite be able to set up Kumo, but still another fight going Cloud9's way. 3-1 plus the Rift Herald.
And they had the proper setup. It just goes to show you as well how difficult it is to fight in the river against darkness. Never being able to see what your teammates are exactly doing. And whenever you have a team actually win a Rift Herald fight after taking the Rift Herald, that's when the game really starts to blow open because they get to use a top lane. A little bit of, maybe impatience, Blabber wanting to get his trinket back right away, get the immediate cash in, because a lot of times you'll see a gank happen first and then the Rift Herald usage. They're unable to actually break that top turret with first Rift, but they do get the gold from the plates.
Yeah, still +1 kill, 3-2 in that fight. Nice knockback by Niski prevents Jizuke from doing anything. I personally really don't mind the almost instant Herald. It's like, hey,
I think it's
open
fine.
lane, guarantee 2 plates. I actually just like that you can cash in instantly. You guarantee you don't get the downside of like failing to find another window later on. end of the day, you know, whatever. Yeah, maybe you find small optimizations, you know, down the line, but uncertain information can't always guarantee it's perfect. Regardless, Silky goes for the play. Oh, that could have been big, but he was slightly out of range. The flash knock-up, and it's just Summoner Spell down. Cloud9 gonna claim an easy drink.
Oh, no.
Re-engage on mid. Svenskeren tries a lot of damage. That's a flash, but Niski's still gonna fall. It's a 1-for-1. That's what it could look like if the flash had landed. Still a 4v4 on the map. Double knock-up again for Licorice. Drake picked up 1-for-1.
Licorice was in exactly the right place for that play, and I think EG is actually fairly fortunate to walk out of that one with a 1-for-1. Overall, like, Gragas Yasuo is such a deadly combo that it is basically a kill every time you can just get a 2v1 because the CC is so reliable. But the fact that Jizuke missed his flash there, just a huge disappointment. But because Licorice was there and they knew Jizuke was flashless, it did give Niski a bit of a sense of confidence to move up. Still, with how many resources EG used, knowing that C9 was also just devoting resources down towards Drake, it's an Infernal Drake in hand for C9. It's a flash down for Jizuke, and it is just yet more gold onto Licorice's Aatrox.
Yeah, 4-0 on the top laner. Oh gosh, Licorice is gonna be taking over this game, and I gotta feel bad for Bang, who's been, you know, laning okay enough. Yeah, down a little bit. They lost a plate early on and whatnot, but I don't know how you exactly peel the 4-kill Aatrox, who's ahead on items, or ahead on cooldown reduction, ahead on movement speed, ahead on levels. Like, he's just gonna kill you. You're just gonna die in the background if he walks at you. MF does not have good self-healing tools, so just kind of good luck dealing with that. We'll see what it looks like the next team fight. EG are keeping it close in kills, but the game just doesn't feel very close. They're getting kills when Cloud9 are getting more, or at least an equal amount, in every single fight.
Right, and EG is in a point where they kind of have to scatter a little bit and look for unpredictable plays in order to get back in this game. The big picture thought for this team would be to be able to get Yasuo into side lanes, but for now, I mean, C9 is actually just turret diving. Not a good play.
Yeah, it's a bit aggressive by Vulcan. I'm not sure Blabber has the damage. He spell shields. Nice. Sniped by Sven. It's 1-for-1 out of the turret. And yet again, Blabber can sit here and wave clear. Takes some damage from Zeyzal. Generally speaking, that pass is pretty good. And
well, this is close.
Yeah,
need the mini wave.
The turret. Nice snipe. Again comes through. I'm not sure Zeyzal wins the stopwatch. You gotta check the items. Blabber, the tab screen is there for your own purposes. It's a 2-for-1. EG win the tower dive.
Well, not only that, I mean, Sven is the one who had a full health bar and a flash up if you need someone to tank turret shots. I think Blabber knew he was dead to rights since Jizuke was already roaming down towards the river. That's potentially a really big play in this game because EG just needs to keep this gold a little bit close until they can get some items on Jizuke, because in a world where EG can potentially come back in this game, it's because Jizuke would be unmatched in a side lane against the Syndra. That point obviously hasn't happened yet because Jizuke has had a fairly poor early game. But yeah, EG needs to be able to have Jizuke command multiple people in a side lane, and they need to buy time until that happens while still being able to get picks wherever Svenskeren goes. Svenskeren does have the gold, and that Gragas Yasuo combo still might pack enough punch to take some people down, and failed dives like that do help buy some time for EG.
And you got to point out, Cloud9 haven't yet had the option of building defensive stats on Niski just yet, right? He's on barrier. He's got the stopwatch. I mean, that's not too bad. He actually bought that outright. You look at his runes, know he got that one for free. He did spend the gold to divert that way to maybe dodge a Gragas ulti or a body slam or something, but there's no arm guard. There's no bonus health outside of Doran's rings, and he's still waiting to finish Luden's Echo, so it's going to be a while till he gets something like that. And that means he will remain squishy in the side lane. It will mean that a burst combo will pretty much land true unless he does the stopwatch outplay. So, you know, you may see that come through. Of course, right now Niski's staying in mid, right? He's not in those elongated side lanes where he can be chased down, so they may just not find the opening.
Yeah, and things we really need to watch for with Ocean Drake coming up in 50 seconds is the wind wall usage from Jizuke in this team fight, whether or not it can block like a Varus ultimate or a Syndra ultimate, and also really watch how snappy the EG engage is, because if they could actually start a fight and burst someone before Vulcan can devour them for a save, that's a window with which they can win. And the final thing from C9's side that you'd want to pay attention to is whether or not Licorice is involved in the fight, because he's actually holding the lion's share of the C9 gold, and he needs to be a big part of any team fight that they take.
All right, well, watch out for the movement around the map. We're 15, now 12 seconds till the Ocean Drake spawns. Feels like Cloud9 would like to go for that one. Licorice has just enough time to recall and then instantly TP to be there for the fight. We'll see if he does it. Shouldn't need to go back topside with that wave pushed in. Gets health back, picks up the full Death Dance.
Perfect.
Here's the play right now. Kumo cannot join till the near side is over. No way out for the Nocturne, or sorry, for the Nautilus. That's a 1-0 on Azazel. Licorice zones out the rest of the squad, and just like clockwork, Cloud9 are there on time, and the Drake is easy.
And Freak, that was perfect. We talked about the things that EG would need to do to set up. They did none of those. They weren't snappy with engage. They didn't have vision control. They didn't have wind wall placement, anything. As soon as Licorice recalled, the paranoia came in. So EG might not have even seen that teleport as Licorice had completed his second core item. So now they can just walk around the map and bully and maybe even take this outer mid turret.
They've already taken 2 turrets. Third one to be here in the mid lane. Licorice looks for the dive. Can't quite find it. Zuke now has a knock up next Q. He's going to get that one with the ulti there as well. Half health to Licorice. Gets a giant heal. Kites right back out, but has to worry about the rest of the damage coming in. 3 knockups come in. Explosive cast can't quite find the openers, though, as Blabber pops a stopwatch and walks away. A blue buff steal is the end result as Svenskeren has to run and goes down. Blabber snipes over the wall with the Q, and now the re-engage. Vulcan going to spit Niski to safety. It's going to be eventually a 5v4, though, but Vulcan is a bit alone. Set to the wolves, finally the flashes away. Blabber looks for a fear, can get that one, but again has to disengage. EG has enough backline to push back Cloud9. It will just be the 1-for-0. The re-engage won't find anything.
Oh, Svenskeren, man, what are you doing? They were all locked up from the Ornal in the bullet time, and Svenskeren just knocks him out of it with his Gragas ultimate, and then he just gets destroyed from over the wall with his flash up. So a really unfortunate series of events for Svenskeren there. It looked like C9 was funneled into a bit of a choke point where maybe EG would be able to find a fight, but they end up getting absolutely nothing out of that. Licorice cleans their jungle and shoves another wave to make himself even richer, and C9 they're running away with this game.
Yeah, they absolutely are. 5,000 gold lead, 19 minutes in, is nearly insurmountable. It's going to require a lot of hard work for Evil Geniuses to get back into this one. But this is the way that C9 went 17-1. Every single game looked like this one, and they won basically all of them. Now a fight in the top side. By the way, 1v1, jungle versus mid lane, down a level or two. Doesn't matter. Blabber's too far ahead.
And right there is why the Nocturne pick can be extremely effective against EG. Jizuke can't split push when a Nocturne's on the loose once he's behind. Blabber is actually just stronger than Jizuke's Yasuo 1v1, so it's pretty hopeless for EG in those situations.
Yeah, a couple of small things you could point out is Jizuke's Phantom Dancer was still on cooldown, so missed the shield there. Maybe Exhaust would have made a difference. There's like small things you could point out and say, hey, but what about next time? I don't think next time is any better. Even with those things up, it's probably still just as lopsided. So the EG win condition is definitely running out of steam here. Yeah, you mentioned side laning, you mentioned all that. Yeah, half of Cloud9 can win that side lane fight. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, and one thing that's differentiated C9 from every other team in the LCS is also how they're able to use these leads. They don't sit on 3,000 gold leads for 10 minutes. They turn that 3,000 gold lead into yet another opportunity. So every time they get another big item power spike, they generally make a play around that power. So Sven just completed Rage Blade with Blade of the Ruin King, meaning their Baron Tread is going to be incredibly fast. So basically the next time Nocturne ultimate is up, I'm expecting them to go for a pick, and they can maybe convert that to a very fast Baron. Also note the Rift Herald is there for Blabber, so they can break maybe even an inner turret if they want to go for more, but if they want to do the quick conservative one, they just drop the Herald here and let that charge finish off that turret.
All right, well, they've still got about 3 minutes left to choose when they want to put that one down. Maybe they wait till it's synced up with the Cloud Drake. Maybe they get it with just the pure pushing. Yep, there's the drop. All right, it's in the mid lane. Once again, Licorice battling Kumo on the top side. Equal level, but not equal in gold whatsoever. No chance this turret lives. It is always going to die. Will they save Shelly's health? Yes, they will, actually. Doesn't hurt herself. The turret's already dead. So mid-tier 2 is the target.
Die.
And this could well drop. Nocturne goes to the back line. Partial dive at least. Blabber gonna be spit back out to safety, but Licorice is there, and Svenskeren now has to slash it away. Big Root comes in onto Bang. It means he's gonna pop the bullet time to keep the disengage. And now Cloud9 say, okay, well, we got 2 turrets mid lane, we force a couple ultis out, we take a couple of jungle camps, that's good enough for us.
Yeah, pretty good timing on that engage as well, knowing that the Rift Herald charge was going to invalidate the turret and that Blabber wouldn't be stuck behind, but good look. Oh, just Svenskeren having an off game.
Would have liked to pull back Vulcan. Now here comes the re-engage. Kumo's going to be around. Pops the ulti, finds a slow. Looks for Niski, doesn't find that knockup. Already Licorice picks up 1. Blabber's got to run away, but Bang is here and picks up 2 for himself. This fight's continuing. Still looking pretty decent, though, for Cloud9, as Bang is going to be dropped. Easy kill there. 3 versus 2 now on the map. Vulcan going to ult forward to find some more slows. Doesn't catch the first. Licorice can't get the chains either, but Kumo might not have a way out. Actually, though, he still does. Cloud9 win the fight by +1, and they stretch the gold lead to over 6,000.
Yeah, Kumo dodged about 3 skill shots at the very end of that fight, but EG still trying to find good looks. Svenskeren is just having a really off game on this Gragas here, even with the missed Gragas ult. They still trade 2 for 3, which honestly isn't that disastrous considering the context. Considering they're down 6,000 gold to C9, that's a decent trade. They burned some crucial flashes, knowing they got Sven and Niski's flash down, but overall, C9 is still going to take it because they are the ones that actually won the fight. They actually extended the gold to 7,000, and they're now 1 off of Cloud Soul.
Yeah, it's so interesting looking at that, right? Because, you know, in absolute terms, Cloud9 comes out ahead here. Plus the kill, plus the Drake. Watch that fight again. Even though Svenskeren, you know, nice attempts there, flash for flash. Cask a little off, but yeah, they still do okay.
Yeah, good spacing by C9 at the start. Niski actually, the flash forward puts him in vulnerable spot. I mean, think of all the stuff that EG actually missed this fight. They missed the Gragas ult, they missed the Ornn ult, and Jizuke is able to dive in and put in a large amount of damage after Bang flashes. So, like, better than you expect for EG, but potentially too little too late.
Yeah, it's really interesting talking about the idea, because I know you were talking around it as well, and I feel the same way, where, look, in absolute terms, Cloud9 got ahead. They got an extra kill, they got 3rd Drake, like, that is clearly, you know, plus win percentage for them. But when you're down 7,000 and the fight was close-ish, you're like, huh, maybe we can do it next time.
Yeah.
Like, it almost gives you confidence, even though you fell further behind, you're like, but it was bad last time and it was close. If we play better, maybe we win even though we're still this far behind.
Yeah, also, there is a monster in Licorice right now, 600 Aatrox.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the insurance over there for C9 with his flash and ult up. So even though EG has a chance of starting the fight by instantly killing Niski or Sven, Licorice is still going to exist. Here's another fight, though.
Here comes the double knockup. Explosive cast brings in Sven, but no Yasuo follow through. So Svenskeren's going to die, and Kumo wildly misses his 2nd Ornn ultimate in a row. Triple knockup out of the Yasuo. He's going to try to deal the damage, but Jizuke just cannot make it happen. A double kill in for Blabber. Here comes kill number 4, and Kumo can only run away. Flashes the wall. Niski finds the slow. They'll let him get out. They don't care. Baron's more important. Cloud9, 4 for 0. Nothing like the last fight, and they will absolutely claim Baron afterwards.
That'll probably do it, Freak. This is now, after this Baron, going to be a 10,000 gold lead. That was a fight where Licorice's Aatrox found pretty clean access to EG's backline, so it was a fight where C9 didn't start it on the defensive, and yeah, they just completely steamrolled EG.
It's one of those go next moments, but watch that fight yet again. I feel bad that we've missed so many Ornn ultimates in a row. It was a decent engage as well, right? Great knockups, but no follow-up.
I mean, feel bad for Kumo, feel bad for Svenskeren. He gets completely CC locked, and yeah, that Ornn ultimate missed badly to the right, even though there was a big swath of C9 players right in the middle of the screen right there. So would have helped. Maybe you could say that would have been enough damage to kill Blabber, but it probably wouldn't have changed the ultimate outcome of the fight.
Yeah, I do want to point out that the Nocturne near-side actually prevented Jizuke from ulting onto Svenskeren's target. He brought Sven into range, but there was no way for the Yasuo to see it. That would have been Sven probably instantly killed. I think he probably dies before he can pop stopwatch, and maybe that fight looks a little bit different then. But it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it makes the Ornn ultimates way harder as well to land. And this game could end in a second, so I'll hold my point. C9's probably looking to dive again if they find the right look.
All right, right now to the bottom, inhibitor turret. A lot of health bars in front. The tanks are there. Blabber has Guardian Angel just as the insurance that he doesn't get dropped down too easily. Svenskeren has to jump away. but the turret's already gone. So now open inhibitor, only 26 minutes in. Pretty standard Cloud9 stuff to take the game over this easily. Now, once again, looking at the play. No knockup for Jizuke. Only hits some minions. Licorice holding to the front line. Blabber waiting for his ulti target. They've got some wards. They've got the vision. Here comes the Ornhorn. Here comes the play. They will for the knockup onto Sven and a lockup on a Licorice. They're going to try, but he's so incredibly tanky. There comes the dive in the back line. They're going to put their faces together, and it's a Guardian Angel pop. Jizuke low. Bang finds one, and they might find a bit more. Blabber up to 100 HP. Will they get the double up? Yes! Bang gets that kill as well. Stopwatch now forcing a Niski. It's a slight member lead for Evil Geniuses, but the health bars are high and the damage is even higher. Cloud9 in a 3v4 for the first time, I think, all game definitively lose a team fight, but they get the inhibitor, and with 30 seconds till the Drake spawn, they'll have their team ready to fight for it.
Yeah, the Death's Dance ends up kicking out Licorice at the back of that, and that's a huge amount of shutdown gold that goes over to EG. They already have one upgraded Infinity Edge on Jizuke, and can actually upgrade Bangs as well to get a little bit of extra gold value. We thought that was one of those go next moments, but it seems like there's a little bit of life left in EG if they can contest this Cloud fight, which I'm pretty confident we're going to see a brawl.
I think they're going to have to. I don't think you want to give Cloud9 the extra movement speed from Dragon Soul, from Cloud Soul. So it's C9 stepping up. They're going to take one more recall. They've still got that Baron buff. They're going to reset yet again there on Sven. Of course, he has teleport. Finishes Nashor's Tooth that goes for a bit more of an AP focus build. More magic damage on hit. But he's ready to go as he clears up the mid lane.
All right. Well, EG's decided not to fight. They don't have Ornn or Nautilus ultimate, so I think they're going in. I wanted to bring up an interesting thing I just thought of about Nocturne and how this pick is actually more powerful now that we're playing LCS online rather than on stage, because what happens during Paranoia is you only get to see about 600 units in front of your screen. Now, if you're playing online or in solo queue, pings still come through. So oftentimes someone will say like, on me, and they'll ping where the Nocturne ult is. If you're on stage, what a lot of players would do is they just look at their teammate's screen, because then they can actually see what's happening. It happens a lot on stage. It's one of the reasons Nocturne isn't necessarily a pro pick. But now with these players playing remote, you can't do that. So I actually think Nocturne increases a little bit in power in these circumstances, and it's maybe one of the reasons C9 is prioritizing it again.
Yeah, from what I can tell, the vast majority of teams are playing in their individual homes, not, let's say, you know, in the team packs environment or anything. They're fully staying at home there as well. So yeah, they don't have those tools. And here we go, Cloud9, they have waited out the Baron buff. That's gone. Bottom inhibitor is dead. Cloud Soul is in. That's another nice bit of power for them. And they're sieging now to the top side. Noah's going to defend top lane tier 2. That's going to be an easy one. 7-0 by the way the turret score. EG have not gotten a single objective outside of kills all game long. No heralds, no Drake, no turrets. They have been kept on their side of the map 100% of the time. And now C9 ready to push in for the top inhibitor itself. A minute 30 or so on Baron. Decent enough time that you can play, and even if you die, you can still play for it again and you know, fight for the Baron. Jizuke, gonna be the one to get all the farm, by the way. He's the one taking the bot lane. Every time the wave pushes in, he gets the gold, he gets the XP.
I mean, because EG has such good AoE damage with the MF ultimate and a potential Gragas Yasuo combo, there's still that small percentage chance that they find exactly the right fight. It's just going to be really hard. I mean, we got a stopwatch unused on Sven. We got the stone plate on Tahm Kench. We got the Zhonya's on Niski. If either of the stopwatch or Zhonya's aren't used properly and Vulcan is able to flash into range for a Devour, that's another way to save someone. And then you still do have that 6-kill Aatrox who can just unleash in the backline. The positive for EG, though, is if Jizuke does get going in a team fight, he's got his items now. And Yasuo's DPS is just absolutely absurd this late in the game if he's actually able to have access and be able to auto-attack and Qs. So very small chance that EG, as we've been saying for about the past 15 minutes, is still...
Right. Yep, there is always that slim chance. If you play it perfectly, there's always the option to win. Just Cloud9 are so heavily favored down here that smart play ends the game. They're going to wait, actually, for the Baron buff. You saw a quick ult out of Vulcan, try to find a catch there towards Jizuke or towards Svenskeren. Couldn't quite find that one, but that's okay. No harm, no foul. Not a hugely important, at least not hugely impactful ultimate mid-team fight. Now Baron is alive. Sven going to clear the mid lane without any issues. And once again, going to try to bait EG into them with better positioning. You can see, look at the fog of war. Look how little Evil Geniuses know about. They know top's pushed in. They know they're clearing mid. Then at some point, Baron's being hit, but can you look?
Yeah. They're not even thinking about it at this point. I think EG is kind of accepted that they're not going to take fights in the jungle because of paranoia. So their strategy right now is, let's just get as much random gold on a Jizuke so that when C9 tries to push our base, where it's a little bit more of a controlled environment, we can go for it. I wonder actually if C9 is just going to go for Elder, or if they're actually willing... Like, I feel like they should be willing with this Baron buff and this gold lead to just go straight up in the middle. But that is kind of what EG is playing for. They're just waiting for them to enter. Because if you wait for Elder Dragon, then C9 may be even stronger yet.
Yeah, it's weird because the absolute gold difference has flatlined at 9,000. And 9,000 means a lot at 27 minutes. It means a lot less at 37 minutes. When it's just, you know, relatively a smaller percentage of the gold difference. Like you're mentioning, you're already at 3-item Yasuo. We're at 3-item Misfortune. She's not too far away from Mortal Reminder, which would be another huge power spike. I don't think you really want to wait for those things to come through.
Yeah.
I personally would like to see 9 play a bit more aggressively. And then the last 20 seconds of Baron buff, claim the Elder Dragon with map control. But I want to see the inhibitor taken down.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the items for C9, they're ready to go. The double Zonias, the double GA, and the Tahm Kench, there is no easy target for EG to actually kill. So they're going to move this wave up to the inhibitor. They might even do a little bit of a split push, and then I think they're going to go. Well,
and we got most of the squad down here in the bottom lane, and the Nocturne in mid. Blabber can always ult to join, so putting the members in the correct places. It is going to be a bit of a split push. Still over a minute and a half, or about a minute and a half left on the Baron buff. And an open inhibitor down here. Vulcan playing defense for Sven. If he gets attacked, just pull him back out to safety. Still waiting on the side is Jizuke. Sven Skarin also looking for it. They're going to fight over ward control to make sure they can't easily access backline. Kumo takes a bit of poke. He's still tanky.
And if EG ever commit too hard on a Blabber, Blabber just presses R and re-engages kind of back towards his side of C9 because he can dash to whatever target he wants. So slow split push, and here comes the ult. Expect Nocturne.
Trade of ultimates, looking for the plays in the front line. A lot of low health bars there. Zazel at half HP. Nocturne comes in, gets pushed right back out though, and chunked low, but spell shields away the brunt of the damage. And that's the engage stifled. That's EG now missing 2 of their major ultimates, and that should mean Niski feels fairly safe to now push in for the inhibitor itself. Licorice now moves to the mid lane to knock that one down, no problem. Niski is safe to keep autoing this. One more will kill the inhibitor. Has to respect Zazel going for the flash, trades his own flash for it. Gonna stay alive. Blabber once again wants in, can't find Kuma, but Licorice certainly can. Forcing the escape yet again. That's gonna be an easy inhibitor picked up, and Jizuke has to put up the wall to not die, but it's still gonna be the first inhibitor drop. The second time around, middle inhibitor gonna drop down as well, and top is being pushed in. They're ready to go for more, but looks like the Nexus turrets might be a bit juicier. Recalls come in yet again. They got the health bars back. Bang still feels a bit comfortable and has the ultimate
gonna
now.
fight.
Is about out of mana. He can't easily bullet time and cast more than one spell. This could be a bit dangerous. Look at the chunk down, Sven Skarin. Where's his stopwatch? Nocturne pops ulti yet again. Here comes the re-engage. Bullet time over the top. Doesn't get a whole lot. Only Vulcan. There's one for 0. Guardian Angel pop, but they're going to chase down in a bang. Flashes away, stays alive. Looks back to Licorice, who finds a knockup on a Kumo. Jizuki's the backline. 1 versus 3. Can't find it as Ben pops the stopwatch, but finds a knockup and runs away. Bang is still safely firing in the backside. Looking for the kill onto Niski. Can't get it, though. So the 2 kills picked up. Zazel going to fall as well, and Jizuke is against the world. Cloud9 don't lose a single member, and Yasuo
man.
going to do it all by himself. Gets a 3-man knockup, clears the wave. Doesn't matter. The Nexus turrets are under fire, and EG at least made him work for it, but Cloud9 going to take game 1 of the best of 5. Quick fight is the end. Cloud9 take game 1.
When you look at the scoreboard at the end of it, 24 kills to 10, it doesn't look close.